WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Tommy Lopez. Tupelo police are asking for help tonight in finding a missing woman. Fanny Spencer went missing from Timber Ridge Apartments on Mitchell Road around 7 o'clock tonight. Spencer is an Alzheimer's patient, and she's an 85-year-old African-American woman, 5 feet 4 inches tall, approximately 165 pounds, wearing a blonde wig and glasses. If you've seen her, contact Lee County 911. There are developments today in a West Point assault case that got national attention in 2014. A DA says today that one man has pleaded guilty. He's now scheduled to testify against 2 other defendants in exchange for his freedom. District Attorney Scott Colomb says 24-year-old Cortez McMillian of Okolona pleaded guilty Monday to aggravated assaults. He won't serve any more jail time for the crime. The FBI investigated the beating as a hate crime. The victim is white, Ralph Weems, then 32 years old. He suffered long-term injuries. It happened here at the Huddle House in West Point. Investigators say 2 groups of people were in heated arguments before the assault took place. A jury has indicted 2 other men in the assaults. They will stand trial later this year. The Oktibbeha County Sheriff's Department is investigating a Sunday shooting involving teenagers. Investigators are not releasing much information. They have, though, confirmed that a teenager was shot during this incident. It was in the Sunset community. The alleged shooter, also a teenager, was taken into custody and placed in juvenile detention. Deputies arrested one adult, 18-year-old Tatiana Brooks. She's charged with tampering with evidence for allegedly hiding the gun. Anyone with information on this incident can call the Oktibbeha County Sheriff's Department. New tonight, a Lee County man, he's facing an August sentencing now after pleading guilty to federal counterfeiting charges. 33-year-old Isaiah Edgar entered into a plea agreement today to 1 count of passing fake $20 bills. This was in Lee County this past fall. Details on what possible sentence Edgar could receive are under a court-ordered seal. We're going to go now to our weather tonight. Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson is in with us for a look at our weather forecast.
Hey, Tommy, right now in the city of Columbus, quiet conditions, 65 degrees. We had a few showers around earlier. Those have gone by the wayside. Temperatures are cooling on down with those mainly clear conditions, down to 60 in Louisville, still 66 in Tupelo, 68 in Amory. Now, tomorrow in Starkville, a lot of sunshine in the morning. 8 o'clock, 63 degrees by noon, pushing 80 already. Some friendly cumulus clouds out there, 84 the forecast high, so another warm one everywhere. And it stays warm. More on your 7-day in just a few minutes.
A longtime U.S. representative representing Mississippi is in Columbus this week. We're talking about Congressman Benny Thompson. He's the featured speaker at an educational leadership conference in Columbus. Our Quentin Smith caught up with him to chat about changes going on in Washington.
United States Congressman Benny Thompson has been serving his home state for decades.
I've been an alderman, a mayor, a county supervisor, and now I'm a member of Congress.
The congressman represents Mississippi's 2nd congressional district, which also happens to be the only black district in the state.
Mississippi has almost 40% of the population. I'm the only African American in the state and the only Democrat. I look forward to one day where we can have more Democratic representation in the state.
Thompson has seen the state make significant strides to get to where it stands now, but he knows there's more work to be done.
I can tell you that we really have some challenges ahead of us.
He says being the only Democrat from Mississippi in Congress is tough, and it puts him on the other side of the aisle with current administration.
Trump budget is going to cut many of the programs. USDA. That's Rural Water Services, that's the SNAP program, that's the Free and Reduced Meal program. Our education budget is to be cut about 13%. That's a big cut for a state like Mississippi.
However, trying to find ways to fix those issues here in the state isn't his only concern. Thompson says he's also worried about the direction the country is going in now that President Donald Trump has taken office.
I'm concerned. I'm concerned what I know about what's happening with Russia. I'm concerned about what's happening in Syria. And I'm just concerned that we're not acting as a world leader should be acting.
The congressman says he's disappointed with the president's actions, and he believes it could put the country on the verge of another conflict.
We ought to be setting the example for the rest of the world. We shouldn't be running out throwing bombs on a country because we don't like what they're doing. They're a sovereign nation.
Thompson is also a ranking member of the Committee on Homeland Security. New sidewalks near Tupelo Elementary School mean safer routes for children and more exercise options for adults. The walkways along the Bryant Drive and Monument Drive are good to go now. The city got grants through the Safe Routes to School program. It's for up to 75% of the cost to build sidewalks here between Thomas Street Elementary and Hancock Park.
You know, we're having a problem with transportation. We're trying to get more transportation in the city, and this is one way to, when we do get transportation, have bus stops and people are walking on sidewalks. So we're hoping we'll be able to get that in the near future.
The city of Tupelo has been part of the Safe Routes program for several years. The work and the passion for her job are what stands out about our Educator of the Week. We told Toya Blair's story today, throughout the day. She's been an educator for more than 20 years. She's a coordinator at the Louisville Municipal Alternative School. She says that she sees her 18 students as her children. You could say teaching is in her blood. Her mother was an educator, and the two taught together for nearly a decade. She believes it's her goal to make a difference in students' lives and doesn't hold their pasts against them.
You never know who's watching you. You don't know whose life you're impacting, and you don't want to affect their life for the negative. I said you want to always be doing something positive.
If you'd like to nominate a teacher, you can go to our website, WCBI.com. Two groups at Mississippi State are making great strides in helping a Starkville boy battling a rare disease. These groups raise a bunch of money today. The Montgomery Leadership Program and the Army ROTC Battalion, they sponsored a 5K run tonight on the MSU campus. Over 400 people showed up for the event. It supports Gabe Valentine, a third grader at Henderson Ward Stewart Elementary. He suffers from a rare skin disease called epidermolysis bullosa, also called EB. The money raised from tonight's event will go to the EB Research Partnership. At last check, organizers had raised $10,000.
Pretty nice weather to be out for a run this evening. This is the sunset in West Point. You can see a little bit of color right there after those clouds started to thin out. We're looking at lows tonight down into the 50s. We're back into the 80s tomorrow. The full forecast is next.
WCBI's Educator of the Week is brought to you by Food Giant, where your neighbors are the owners. Your first alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
All right, check this out. Some spring blossoms. Now is the time to enjoy the flowers. We've had the rain. We're warming things up. And a little different perspective here. Our Alpha Insurance time lapse, a dual time lapse here from this evening in Columbus and Tupelo, taken at the same time. More clouds in Columbus, more sunshine today in Tupelo. A tale of two different cities here in northeast Mississippi. Now in Pontotoc tomorrow, a lot of sunshine. Initially 78 for your lunch hour here. Some friendly cumulus clouds back to about 84 degrees. Not too shabby. Keep in mind we should be in the low to mid 70s, so about 10 degrees above that tomorrow across the board here. Some spots as warm as 85 here in the Golden Triangle area, and same story in West Alabama. A lot of sunshine with some of those friendly clouds across our region. Currently in Tupelo, 66. The wind is calm, and it is a quiet night. Now, there could be some patchy fog out there tonight, but probably not a major problem for us. A widespread 60s in the region right now. The lower 48 is really warming up now. Spring has sprung here. I guess a little bit cooler in the northeast and some of the mountains, but in general, we're warming things up. Some storms across the Midwest today and snaking down into eastern New Mexico and West Texas. That's where the biggest batch of rain has been today, and even some severe weather. Check out this cluster of hail reports, southeastern New Mexico and West Texas. Can't forget a few small hailstones reported in far south Alabama and even the Florida Panhandle today. Now, here's our Futurecast forecast model. Here's what you need to know. Not a lot of action for us. More in the way of activity back to the west and northwest. We have high pressure really anchored over our area aloft and over here at the surface down on the east coast, and that's going to keep us basically dry. Can't rule out an isolated shower going forward for the next couple of days, but I think our next best chance for any rain will really get in here late Sunday into Monday with an approaching cold front. This is Easter Sunday. We'll have a chance for a few showers around here, but most of our Easter holiday weekend, if not the entire holiday weekend, warm, fairly dry here, just a 20% chance of rain on Sunday. As that front moves on in early next week, Tommy, temperatures may cool a little bit, more cloud cover, but still above the average, maybe a little bit better chance of rain. My suggestion, keep watering your plants in your yard because it's going to dry out quickly here.
And get used to the heat. AC units on, sunshine is out.
Going nowhere fast is this heat.
Yeah, all right, Keith, thank you very much. We have the story of a Tupelo student who is doing it all athletically. That's coming up tonight. Stay with us. To our Health Talk with Baptist segment. Tonight, Baptist is talking about end-of-life healthcare planning.
Hi, I'm Deborah Ronwalt, the Palliative Care Clinical Coordinator at Baptist Memorial Golden Triangle. Tonight we will continue our discussion of the Conversation Project, which is dedicated to helping people talk about their end-of-life wishes. Tonight we will look at how to start the conversation. Step 1, get ready. You will have several questions as you get ready for the conversation, such as, what do I need to think about or do before I have this conversation? Do I have any particular concerns that I want to be sure to talk about, such as finances or the future care of a loved one? Step 2, get set. What is the most important to you as you think about how you want to live at the end of life? What do you value most? Finish these sentences. What matters to me at the end of life is to be at home with family, control of pain. As a patient, I'd like to know maybe the basics of my disease or all the details. What role do you want your loved ones to play? Do they know what you want or have no idea? What do you feel are the 3 most important things that you want family, friends, and or doctors to understand about your wishes and preferences for end of life? Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist, when we will discuss steps 3 and 4 of how to start the conversation.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
If you need help getting the conversation started, Baptist Golden Triangle is recognizing National Healthcare Decision Day. It's on April 18th. You'll be able to get information on options and talk to professionals. It's in the lobby of the Patient Tower from 10 a.m. until noon that day. For one Tupelo student, 2 is better than 1. We talk to the dual sports stud LeBryant Siddell next in sports.
CBI Sports with Tom Ebel.
Starring on the diamond, the gridiron, and the classroom, Tupelo's LeBryant Siddell led the Golden Wave to a division-clinching season in 2017 and continues to be one of the hottest bats in the lineup. WCBI Sports' Jonathan Flippo has more with our Student Athlete of the Week.
game time, baby. Trying to get this W.
LaBryant Siddell has had quite the journey in his time at Tupelo High. LB has been a force at running back on the gridiron and left field on the diamond.
Basically, the thing about them playing at Tupelo, this is really a family-based, school. Everybody want to see you be successful. So it's just that part of knowing that I have, I don't consider them my team. I consider them as brothers. So it's just been fun just having them on my side.
Following high school, Siddell will carry his 3.2 GPA over to Fulton and play baseball for the ICC Indians and plan to major in sports training.
What made me go is the coaching staff. Coach Carr, he called me every night, and it was just a fun experience knowing that I had somebody and a place to go next year, just knowing that he really wanted me. So I went to visit, and I just really liked, and my parents liked what we seen.
Siddell's teammate Ray Sandroni had the chance to play with him on the football field and on the baseball field. Sandroni knows the dual sport athlete Siddell is making the right choice, choosing the leather over the pigskin.
I think he's a better baseball player. He was Division Player of the Year our sophomore year, and he's got some of the quickest hands I've ever seen on a high school baseball player, and it's hard to get him out.
Head baseball coach Justin Reed coached against Siddell during his time at South Panola. Reed knew Siddell was special when they were in opposite dugouts, and that feeling never changed once Reed became his head coach.
He's a guy that comes, dual sport guy, so we don't have him always in the fall, but when he comes to us in the spring, he's excited about baseball. He's a kid that you can tell he started playing baseball at a really, really young age, and just a super teammate. The kids love him, and he's a fun guy to be around. He never gets too high, never gets too low, and but a super kid.
Siddell's time with the Golden Wave is coming to a close. The senior hopes to leave a legacy that lasts in Tupelo athletics.
I would like them to remember me as a hard worker and making sure I can do what I can do just to help my teammates win. See, I might be off that one night, but I can still raise my teammates up to be better just so I can look up to them.
The Golden Wave will be back in action tomorrow night for senior night when they host South Pontotoc. Reporting in Tupelo, I'm Jonathan Flippo with WCBI Sports.
WCBI Student Athlete of the Week with Jonathan Flippo is brought to you by C Spire Wireless.
To signings from today in Calhoun City, former WCBI Student Athlete of the Week, Ladavius Drain signed the dotted line to continue his basketball career at Southern Miss. This past season, Drain averaged 31 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists per game for the Wildcats. He also finishes his career at Calhoun City with more than 2,000 career points. The newest Golden Eagle also helped his team to Jackson 3 out of his 4 years.
It feels good. It's a special privilege and an honor to go Division I straight out of high school. I work hard every day to get to this point in my career. I just continue to get good at what I do.
He put his best effort in everything he's done, and I think he deserved it. I think he's our first Division I signee in school history, so we wish him the best at what he do out there. I think he'll do really well there. Looking forward to big things out of him down there.
4 Starkville Yellow Jackets sign on to continue their athletic careers. The big fella, Jesse Little, he signs to join American University to play D1 basketball. Lake Spradling ringing the cowbell. He's going to join Mississippi State's track and field team. In basketball, teammates Darius Agnew and Marquedrick Bell are heading to Scuba to play basketball for EMCC. More basketball signings from today. In Tupelo, senior Nick Ratliff signs to play basketball for Blue Mountain College. Ratliff